Alright, what's happening, fish freaks? This is Dave Guitar Fish. Usually when I scape, I like to, of course, clean the tank. I just clean it with white vinegar, get it all ready. Make sure it holds water, fill it up for a little bit, and then as well, just make sure the stand is secure. Of course, I clean the plants. There's some Hygro Compact I'm cleaning, get all the rock wool off it. Separate all the plantlets. You just want to look for critters, hitchhikers, snail eggs. Get all the rotten leaves off. And of course, always trim the roots. There I'm rinsing some crypts. I like to rinse them just to get any, leftover rock wool out or any other critters off there, algae, whatever. You just want to rinse them all. In this setup, I'm using Hygro Compact, Crypt Lutea, Crypt Wendtii, Dwarf Sag, and then I'm going to get some S. Repens from the LFS when they have some in stock, and then, of course, some Anubias Nana. So if need be, tie these to a piece of rubble. That way you can move it around in the tank. It makes it easier than trying to tie it to like a main rock or a main piece of driftwood. I just use zip ties. You really don't need to use thread or fishing line. Zip ties are black and the plants grow over them. I'm using them in my main scape with the needle leaf Java Fern. I know people will probably freak out, but that's what you do. Right there I've got some Osmocote Plus just to give the tank a head start. Again, this is a 10-gallon tank. Osmocote Plus lasts for about 4 to 5 months in 78 to 80 degree water. That information can be found on the Scott's website. I'm pretty sure they just put it on there for hydroponics use. But it just, it helps, especially in a situation like this. I'm going to have heavy root feeders. And of course, I'm using AquaSoil. So there you can see I'm building up the slope. You always want to have a slope so some rocks are above the horizon, some rocks are below the horizon to create more depth. In this tank, it's not the greatest example because it's small, but right here you can see I'll put the anchor stone down. You always want to start with the anchor stone first at the golden ratio, 2/3 from the right side of the tank or 1/3 out from the left side of the tank, roughly. But you can see how the little rock on the left is below the horizon, the anchor rock is above the horizon. Right here I'm kind of messing with the balance. It's still off balance because I have that big rock on the right side of the anchor rock and it's disrupting the flow of the anchor rock. So I kind of mess around with it for a bit and you'll see here in a minute I'll finally find the balance. So right there, that's where I find it. And you can see it makes a nice pathway up the middle. The best way to explain it is they complement each other, both sides of the tank, kind of like South America and Africa. It just helps give it a nice trail look through the middle. And then, of course, I'm going to saturate the substrate. You want about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch in there. You don't want to fill it up all the way. It just makes it easier to plant. Then I'm just going to plant crypts on the right side and then Hygro Compacts on the left. A couple Dwarf Sag up front, and then eventually I'll fill in the front foreground with S. Repens. I'm using a current Satellite Plus LED fixture just on this little cheap 10-gallon. I took the rim off this tank. A classic Eheim 2211 with an upgraded 2213 impeller. A little 25-watt Penplex heater, nothing special. A Coralia 425-gallon/hour nano wave maker. That's about it, really. There you can see I'm just planting some stuff, and there's the finished product. Of course, it's going to be nice and bushy. This is a really bushy tank. Hopefully these plants, of course, will fill up the back. The trail kind of goes up to that bronze Wendtii. So the bronze Wendtii at the back of the tank, the trail follows up to, that's a focal point as well as the anchor stone. I'm going to be using Flourish+Excel tap water. I'm going to do 50-50 because my tap water is liquid rock, so it'll be comparable to most people in the United States if I do 50% RO, 50% tap. I'm going to try and not do any liquid ferts. I just want to rely on DIY root tabs, Osmocote Plus, and Flourish+Excel, make it a real low-tech, no CO2. I'll probably do bi-monthly 50% water changes. Nothing special, but I'm sure we can get the S. repens to carpet. Anyways, until next time, keep your sleeves wet.